Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Let's Talk podcast. My name is Kamisha Whitaker-Moore, and I'm joined tonight by my co-host and son.
Cam, what's happening?
And tonight, we have a very special guest. Honestly, very much so to my son, and I've watched him for a few years playing basketball and doing all the things. And tonight, we're going to let him introduce himself. And our special guest is Kyle Wright.
Kyle Wright.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Kyle.
Moved here about sixth grade. Yeah.
Say so, yeah.
Mittens, and then just been a basketball fanatic ever since. That's pretty much, I went to Texas High, played basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I did my first year at A&M,
Mm-hmm.
that 2019, that first year team, and then I transferred out of there to the University of Mary Hardin Baylor, and I played there for 4 years as well.
4 years there?
Yep.
How was that?
It was a lot of fun, actually.
Really?
It was really, really fun. It's expensive, so it's a D3 school, so
Yeah.
there's no athletic scholarship, so it was a little bit different that end, just coming out of pocket, but it was a really, really good experience. I got, some lifelong friends, and so it was a fun experience playing basketball as well.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I know we took a little trip there at one point. I think Cam was interested, or someone had asked you to come by to look at the college or what have you. And so we went, and honestly, I thought he was going to choose or stay, but he did not. And so it's crazy to me how you two did the same thing, played the sport, played with and against one another, became really good friends. I remember mitten days for sure.
Yeah, man.
Picking him up at the door, your mom picking you up at the door. And I remember that. But the thing about it was you guys went two different ways, two different directions. And even in life, two different directions. So tell us a little bit about that, Kyle.
So this was funny because my last 2 years, I tried to get him over there at UMHB. Me and Coach Orr. So Coach Orr, he originally, he was in Longview. I think that was the time. It was a Longview tournament that I had in high school, and he had seen me play there. But he was the one that kind of got me over there, and he also knew Cam as well. So yeah, I was trying to get Cam over there for the longest.
What was his excuse for not going?
It was a funny story because okay. So when I was playing at Cossatot, Coach Orr called me, but I'm telling you, I did not see it. And as I was clearing, it was, I think it was 2 weeks passed by. I was clearing out my voicemails, and I was like, I don't know who this number is. So I clicked it, and he sent me a voicemail saying that he was the coach of UMHB, and he wanted me to, come down there and check it out and stuff. And I had, as soon as I seen that, I texted Kyle, and I tried to call him back, but
It was done?
Yeah, it was too late.
I totally get it. But I tell you, that slowful spirit will get you every
Yep.
time. All right. So go ahead, Kyle. Tell us a little bit about you.
No, I mean it's pretty much just basketball. Well,
Yeah.
pretty much it's been just basketball with me. That's kind of just the main thing I've always been focused on. I've had a dream. I wanted to play professional, different things like
Yeah.
that, and so it was mainly just like grinding throughout the year. Trying to chase that dream, and then I started it was my sophomore year, so the years messed me up with COVID because
I got
it
you.
pushed me back. Yeah, it pushed
Yeah,
me back
for
a year.
sure.
So I did my freshman year at A&M, and then all of my credits didn't transfer when I transferred to UMHB, and so I was a freshman basically again. But my classroom aligned with my eligibility when they gave us our COVID year back. So
Gotcha.
kind of just pushed me a year behind. But yeah, my sophomore year, second year at UMHB, I started doing PGC. And then I got a little bit more into coaching and different things like that. And I found the love for just like teaching the game and, being real intentional, whether it's like just different moves, whether it's, trying to deliver techniques and, just ideas to other people in general.
Right.
And I started falling in love with that. And so, coaching and then also just teaching and being intentional is something that's big for me. So I love, impacting people any way I can.
Right. So that's really good because honestly, I know that I didn't know that you were with PGC. Is that what it was? Until Cam showed an interest in it. And he was like, hey, Mom, I think I want to do this for the summer. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Do whatever you want to do. Tell me what it costs, what we need to do, and we'll get it done. And so then he was like, well, Kyle's out here. And then I'm seeing pictures of you guys climbing mountains, doing different things, going to different places. And I'm like, I'm loving this. And I'm like, you know what? I'm loving the relationship between you and Kyle, because I told Cam, you need a friend like Kyle, because honestly, you have a friend like Kyle. Kyle's very disciplined, or Cam, the way Cam was describing, you were very disciplined with your meal plan, with your water intake, and whatever you put into your body. I'm like, you need to take a whole chapter out of Kyle's book. And I definitely said that a couple of times. And I'm like, this is what, this is a friend that you need. And so then he fell in love with the same thing too. And I was like very happy with that, because there were so many pictures and different things. And I'm like, he's having a good time. I'm very proud of my son. And I know that I was at work talking to my friend Anthony about it. And so I was like really proud, but he was breaking my pockets. But honey, I was definitely proud that he was out there doing something that he loved, and with a good friend as well. So I was very happy about that. So Cam, tell me a little bit about your PGC.
I was in auto at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was that summer after I graduated. Didn't know what I wanted to do. Then he told me about PGC, and I was, asking questions, stuff like that. And then I've always wanted to coach.
Mm-hmm.
So he told me a little bit about it, and I was like, sheesh, let's give that a try. So I did.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's pretty much history from there.
I got you.
So,
would you do it again?
Yeah, for sure. I plan on doing it this summer for sure.
Are you doing it this summer as well?
I am. I'm going to be a director this summer. So, this is going to be my fourth. I'm entering my fourth.
You in your fourth year?
Summer with,
Really?
PGC.
Your fourth summer? Okay.
I've been doing it for a while.
Sounds good. And I know we've had an episode about basketball on here. We talked a little bit about basketball transitioning from high school to college. But I don't think that we talked past college. Well, we did talk about college to real life, what that transition looks like, as far as like, hey, you still want to play the game, you don't want to play the game. Is this something that I definitely want to continue? Don't want to continue? Am I pivoting some other way, some other direction? And some of us still have that dream to play. Some don't. And that's fine, because we've done all the things. But I want to kind of go back a little bit and just, honestly, I want to ask the question. Was there a coach, whether it be junior high, high school, or college, that really made a difference in your world, that made you like fall in love with the game, or made you want to, just made you want to eat and absolutely just do all the things that you needed to do to get to that next level? Was there a coach for either one of y'all that made you feel that way, made you feel like invincible? They poured so much positivity and all the things into you.
For me, it was Coach Frog. I mean, he's my sophomore year in high school. Like, I always, like, we had mittens, when I first moved here. And so, like, I'm always in the summer, mom dropping me off 9 o'clock. I mean, I'm there all day until she get off work. So, like, 6, 7, in the evening. And so, I mean, being in the gym all the time, we always there just hooping. The work ethic is there, and everybody in the city pretty much was coming. So it was kind of like a community type of deal. And then after, men's kind of got taken away from us.
Yeah.
It was like a rough time. It was like, dang, now what? Where are we going to go play? And so Coach Frog, he got a hold of me my sophomore year. And, he started, that was the first person that actually, I was able to work with as far as like, skill development. And so that's kind of just my introduction into, like being taught the game of basketball for real, from an adult. And, he kind of just like, he said, he want, like, whatever my goal was, or however my work ethic was, he was going to help me reach that. And how many every times I want to go to the gym, we was in the gym. So after that, it's just like we rocking and rolling, going together, and was in the gym 2 times a day.
Yeah.
Just about every day. And, he didn't get tired of me. I ain't get tired of him. We just working.
That's good.
Yeah.
What about you, Cam?
I have two. For sure, Coach Frog, and then Coach McCown. Coach McCown was kind of in high school. He kind of led the way. He was my coach my junior year, and then also he was the varsity coach my senior year. So he really instilled a lot of confidence in me. Because, in high school I didn't really have too much. I knew I could play basketball. In my freshman sophomore year, I was just just playing. But Coach McCown really helped me get that confidence that I needed. And it's same with Coach Frog. he kind of taught me a different way to play basketball, to think basketball as well. Going to AAU tournaments, keeping it real was the biggest thing for me with Coach Frog, because whether you want to hear it or not, he gonna tell you the real.
Yeah, for sure.
And he was always willing to work with us, and even when we wanted to be lazy, he wouldn't let us. So that's and he really takes the game serious. Like he's one of the few in Texarkana that really wants to progress the game of basketball in this city.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. I totally get that. And I know that, with Frog having like different teams, different things going on, I definitely, Da Vinci, what was it called? Like Da Vinci.
Da Vinci Ball Hogs.
Da Vinci Ball Hogs. I definitely remember that. And so I definitely remember
man.
Cam played on this team and you too. And we had, we were kind of traveled with him a little bit. I think there was like a game we had in Tyler. I remember us all going to. There was another guy, super tall and with the skinniest legs. Was it CJ?
He played with us?
Yes.
No, Damien.
I think it's CJ.
It's CJ.
But yeah, CJ is super tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mark would always come in on his legs. He's like, he got the littlest legs. But he was always out there hooping. I remember you guys out there and always having a good time. But you're right. Frog did not play.
No, not
He
at
would
all.
get on y'all's head. And I totally get that part too. If you were to continue the game of basketball, right? If you made it to the next level, if you made it to the NBA or overseas or whatever the case may be, a lot of people give back to the community, right? We know that there's no longer a mittens, and honestly, trying to get a gym is super, super hard. What would be your ideal thing to give back to the community here in town, in Texarkana, for all the kids that want to be basketball players, all the kids that look up to or watch some of y'all's film or huddle or hear the name Kyle Wright or Texas High, Cam Woods, Pleasant Grove, all the things. What would you want to give back to the community for the kids?
It's crazy because me and him was talking the other day about like, the things going on down here and like possibly training kids, and then also really like the big goal is building another rec center.
Yeah.
Having that down here for the kids to come and just like kind of like another mittens.
Yeah, for sure.
In a way, but just building that and then hopefully, sparking people's lives to keep the basketball going.
I got you. So would it be like a rec center for just like basketball kids, or would it be for like volleyball girls? And just different things, like a recreational type thing for all?
Yeah, it's a lot of other stuff that goes into, building the gym, especially with the funding and different things like that. But a little bit, that's kind of why I started doing social media that COVID year in general. And my first, like, especially like, on TikTok, it was, at first I was just doing anything trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And then when I transferred to UMHB, that wasn't flying no more. And so a lot of my content wasn't, Christian school appropriate.
I got you.
And so, just to say the least. And so I took a more basketball direction, just documenting my journey.
Yeah.
But then also, as I did, like, get more into coaching and, like, actual player development and drills and different things like that, I started, posting different things like that. So that's kind of where that kind of took place for me, and wanting to give back and really just have an imprint on the game in general. That's something I still like do, want to do it for sure. But it's like as I'm getting just more into life, it's a lot of different things that you gotta handle and take control of, and it's not just basketball anymore.
For sure. For sure. So now we come to the pivot.
Ooh.
So basketball, high school is over, college is done.
Yeah.
We are grown-ups with grown-up lives and all the things that we need to do as a grown-up. There's bills out here. There's car notes, if any, all the things. So what does life look like for you now?
Life is a lot.
Yeah, life is life.
Yeah. It's, full transparency here, I was really struggling with self-confidence in my senior year out of college, and really what I wanted to do coming out of college, because I knew I wanted to continue to play. And so I would just kind of go back and forth between the two. And then there was a point in time where I said I was done and I was going to go into just player development, be a trainer, different things like that. And I took like a month. I was training some of my teammates and different things. And as I was doing that, there was a it was one workout, I still get up at 6 a.m., I was just working them out though. But there was one we were going through and I was like, I still can do this. Like I still want to do this. Like it's still in my heart. And so I texted my assistant coach, Coach Hunter, texted him. I said, I want to start working out again. Like, this is it. I want to pursue it.
Yeah.
And so I took the summer, I started doing that and I started pursuing it. And, people was, still telling me like, chase it as long as you can and do it and do that. And so this summer, I went through it, and with the schedule of PGC and doing all the traveling and, the camp hours and different things like that, like, that's a big deal with Cam as well. Like, you have to be really structured and intentional with your work and how you're going to get it in, especially with those high aspirations.
Yeah.
And so, going through all of that throughout the whole summer, and then I kind of knew just the environment of Texarkana, with it, especially when it comes to hoops, that it's going to be real tough if you don't have a job or you really don't have something lined up as far as that basketball wise. Coming back here, and so it was a good 3 months for me when I got back to Texarkana of just still trying to work out, stay in shape, and stay ready per se. And then, like you said, life, other responsibilities, different things come, and I got to a point where I was working out one time with Reggie. I remember this like it was yesterday. And I looked back at Cam and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Really? Are you serious?
I was going through the dribble move. I was like, my heart's like
wasn't
working.
there?
It wasn't the same.
Really?
It was like all the training, because it felt different this time. I was like, I just don't want to do it. And, I kind of just stopped and just started to pivot. And a lot of the especially when it comes to overseas, it's a lot of waiting. It's a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah.
And I was just tired of that. I was ready to really step forward and into something else and really find out, like, okay, what's my career going to be? Because I do have other, goals and aspirations. And, life is not just, it's bigger than me.
Yeah.
And so I want to, do something that's bigger than me. It's just steady, chasing that dream. Like, I'm not saying don't chase your dreams and different things like that, but it's like, it was just time for me.
Yeah.
It's time for me
Your
to
season
move
was
on
done.
to something else. So, yeah.
Totally understand that.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Because, honestly, when you feel as if you fulfilled that part of your life, it's okay to close that chapter and pursue something totally different. Because that doesn't mean that there's not goals and dreams, or, like you said, aspirations that you have that you want to complete as a young person, in life, as far as like, getting older and having all of the things. And that's okay, because people change all day long. Mm-hmm. People change every day. I remember Cam, he was like, he got a scholarship for football, and he went and he was like, yeah, I'll go. And then a couple days later, he was like, I was like, what? Wait a minute. We talk about paid school here. Yeah. And he was like, Mom, I don't feel it. And so I totally understand that. So what are you thinking now? Well, hold on. Before we do that, my bad. Cam, what about you? So we talked about Kyle. What you got going on right now?
Yeah, it's a little bit different for me. After school, I knew I had a dream to play at the next level.
Yeah.
And coming here, like he said, it was. I knew it was gonna be rough. I didn't want to come back.
Yeah.
So I had an opportunity to coach at my college, and it was really weighing on me heavy, because I also wanted to continue to train and hopefully have a opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
So I couple months went by, or I'll say a month or two went by, and then I decided, I was like, I'm gonna bet on myself to get to where I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I came down here, and I'm, pursuing it still. And if I think about it every day, I do.
Yeah.
Because I see Kyle and him, he wanted to do his own thing. And I think about it every day, because it's different. As I get older, the time, it's not going to stop ticking. So, and I'm still waiting on that opportunity. But at the same time, like he said, life is life. And so there's different things that I want to do in life besides basketball.
Yeah.
And I still train today to this day. So, like, if I ever go into the gym and I don't feel like this is what I want to do, then I'll know, like, okay,
You're done. Your
Yeah.
heart's not in it. I
Yeah.
got you. What's going on, Kyle?
I think one thing that really helped me though is especially like when it comes to that decision, you got to make sure you get it all out.
Yes.
Like you can't leave it left in. Like that summer for me, I could be with the mindset now of I kind of just like I wasted a whole summer because I made the decision I was going to pursue it just for the summer and then stopped
Change your
again. So
mind.
I could have did something else, but like you don't want to build up resentment, you know,
True.
in your heart. And I felt like if I got into coaching, and like let's say I just didn't try to pursue it and I just went straight into coaching, you know, you can't really put your all into something when you know
your heart is feeling something else. Yes, I totally get it.
You know, that's kind of disrespectful to the athletes that you would be coaching, different things like that. So it's like I had to get it all out first, and
Makes
now
sense.
I'm finally like I'm good.
Yeah,
like,
I was like, I am free. Okay,
I'm good.
Thank the Lord, I am
anymore.
free. I totally understand, and I think that even with me in my older age, you know, there's things that I want to do, still want to do in life. There's a lot of things that I had goals when I was younger, and they're still here. So I know I'm not over those, but I totally get it. Once that chapter closes, we're good.
Yeah.
Because honestly, we can say, hey, I did it. That was my heart. That was my dream. And now it's just not. And we do it all the time. That honestly, to me, that is a part of growing up and being an adult and maturing as well. Because I'm not going to continue to do something that my heart is not in, because we're going to fail at it. We're going to fail, and you're not going to give it 110% of your time or your effort. And if you do, you're going to be miserable.
Yeah.
So why be miserable with something and go? You can move on to something totally different.
Yeah.
So what you doing now?
So
what's some goals and dreams you got going on now?
Well, as you can see, I've kind of. So at first, when I first got back to Texarkana, I was just gonna, cause the overseas game is a waiting. You're just waiting to hear calls and different things like that. And so first, he was just trying to find a job, make some money while I could still train. And I happened to get a job at Dillard's, which is, probably one of the worst jobs as far as time management to try to do that, because my hours are like 11 to 8. And so it's really, really terrible. But I've gotten a lot more into just styling and fashion since I have been there.
Yeah, you trying to shame us today with all of this. I was like, what is this going on?
Straight off the clock with it.
That's okay. You look
and
nice.
I used to, because back in the day, you watched NBA players, like, they used to wear suits and stuff
For
to the game. Like D-Wade, Kobe Bryant, like we talking 09, 10. Used to, used to dress up, and that's initially where I got it from at first, because in middle school, like 8th grade, I used to wear like bow ties and stuff. I mean, I tried to get the team to wear bow ties as well to the school, and it was several of us who actually do it. So it's always been there a little bit, because my mom likes fashion and stuff. But actually working there is definitely like brought it out even more, and just having to help people, whether it's from like when I first got there, it was homecoming season, so. Everybody coming in, they're needing suits and stuff. So just helping them with that, and it's really kind of taken off for me. So I want to do like fashion stuff on like TikTok and Instagram, different things like that. And then also I'm in finance as well, so that's been another thing been cool for me to learn. Just because when it comes to finances, unless your parents don't teach you and you don't major in it in school, not necessarily learning.
This is
they
so
don't teach you in high school.
true.
Yeah.
This is so true. So let me speak on this for a second or two. Honestly, as when I was growing up in my dad's home with my parents as a child, my dad would always speak on making good financial decisions, always having really good credit. And honestly, a lot of parents don't teach on that, because sometimes people just look at like, we just get what you get, don't get it if your credit is bad, whatever the case may be. And I totally understand that. But my dad was very, very passionate about that, because he always told us, hey, you cannot do anything with bad credit. And I understand that. But I'm 48 and still trying to figure out this financial situation. How old are you?
23.
And you're in this financial situation.
Yeah.
This is something that you really don't see here in town, or it's something that I've not seen with a lot of younger Black men. Now, bigger cities, of course you do. But here in Texarkana, I've seen Black entrepreneurs as far as like insurance companies are concerned, different things like that. But honestly, somebody that my son knows and somebody that, with finances, I don't know too many of those. So speak on that part for us or me. What part of the finance world are you? What are you doing there?
So I am in the insurance realm. So I work a lot with with tax advantage accounts, annuities, will trust, different things like that,
Gotcha.
life insurance, living benefits, different things like that in that realm. And just going back into the young Black men seeking typically all you're gonna hear is sports, basketball, football, especially in this area.
True.
And
little rapping.
Yeah, as far as being able to impact people and have an impact and be a role model for just other people who look like me. Like you don't have to necessarily. It's not a scripted route that you don't have to go down. There's some things in school, whether it's studying what it is, it could seem kind of boring or geeky at the time or whatever. But it's good to branch out and really learn things. Like I remember in high school. You have your different cliques and groups. So you got your sports guy, and then you got the band kids.
Yeah, for sure.
And the band kids feel some type of way, but you know how cool it is to be able to play a piano.
For sure.
It's little things like that. Yeah. Just branch out and explore new interests. And you don't have to. It's not a scripted way that you have to. Career path that you have to go down because people would think.
Absolutely.
That's something that fits you. Or I've done basketball my whole life. I know, but I can still, get into something else and still,
because honestly,
succeed.
That's a stereotypical way of thinking as well. Because Kyle played basketball, Cam played basketball. That's all y'all know.
Yeah.
But there's other things that you know. There's other things that you want to do. There's other things that you can do. My friend Anthony, he's a computer guy. He's IT. Who would have thought that he would have produced a whole podcasting situation?
Yeah.
I mean, that's within his niche, but yet and still, he kind of ventured out to do those things. And so you don't have to be the stereotypical type of person. You don't have to be, just because I'm Black, I play basketball. Or just because I'm Black, I got about 5 baby mamas and different kids. There's other things that we can definitely do. And honestly, shining a light on those topics and different things, honestly, makes me happy because I don't have to say, well, yeah, I knew Kyle. He went to jail and whatever. Cam, he was in the pen and all of those things. We have people here that ventured out and did things that, some people would think were strange or nerdy or it didn't make no sense and that, different things like that. But it's a good thing and you're helping people.
Yeah.
People like me or anybody else. So go ahead and speak on it. I'm sorry for interrupting.
You just got to live a little bit longer to get that perspective.
Yeah.
Because that's just what comes with time.
Yeah, for sure.
Perspective. And it's just for me, especially getting into finance, it's even though you have an environment that you may have grown up in and you haven't been taught some things, but you get to a certain point in life where you got to hold yourself accountable.
Absolutely.
And what you haven't learned so far, you got to learn it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just going to be kind of stagnant and stuck where you at.
Sure.
And so learning accountability, through sports has been, just amazing. I've always been somebody that hold myself accountable, but still taking those same lessons and, habits, mindset into something else and just trying to thrive that way. And like I said, that's been holding myself accountable. I need to learn these things, especially if I have these aspirations. I want to be able to provide a gym back for my community, for Texarkana.
For sure.
I got to learn about all this stuff. So
you're absolutely right.
It's a different route.
You're absolutely right. I know that we had a conversation not too long ago about single moms. Were you in a single parent home?
I was.
Okay. And so was Kim. And so the question was, as single moms, do we produce marriage material or do we produce men that are like protectors and different things like that. So do we produce husbands? You know what I mean? And so as a mom, you know, you want to instill in your children all the things and make sure that they're well-rounded. But sometimes single moms have like a mindset and it's just like, we're going to survive today, tomorrow, and whatever. And we're going to teach our sons that. But honestly, teaching our sons accountability, teaching them to venture out, teaching them that they don't have to be stagnant, teaching them that there's more to the world than what you see. Those are all good qualities in a really good husband. And honestly, you know, some single moms can definitely produce husband material with their sons and with their boys. And so these are things that you would definitely need to be, you know, financially stable, because I don't want a broke man. You know, so you got to learn these things. And so my dad was a big preacher about that as well. He was a big preacher of having financial success when you're young. My dad was 24 and married. He owned a home. He had a good job and 2 kids at 24. So he taught us those things. So what say you? What do y'all think about that? Am I right or am I wrong?
No, I think you're right. Back to the other podcast. I think you said it, you're right. And like, you know, from my opinion, like having friends like Kyle, it definitely helps you better yourself and things like that. Because like once I graduated college, I mean, I knew what I wanted to do, but it's about you putting in an effort to make it happen.
Absolutely.
Like if you look at me, you like you say, you play basketball, but I'm also working on my teaching certificate.
Absolutely.
And I'm, you know, gonna go back and get my master's. So it's like, you know,
that.
it's just certain things, you know, in life that if you want it, like you said, you got to hold yourself accountable and just make it happen.
You do. Much. Absolutely do. Kyle, what do you have?
If we talk about, you know, mothers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I gotta talk that, because my mom, man, she's just like everything.
Yeah.
Like literally everything, you know, I was a bad kid.
Were you? I don't remember you being a bad kid.
So I got better when I got to Texarkana as I got older.
Gotcha.
But before I lived in Texarkana, we lived in McKinney. And yeah, I was bad.
Really?
I was real bad. I had bad anger issues.
Yeah.
You know, I act a fool. I had my fair share of all that. And so, and like I said, her, you know, being a single mother, but taking care of me and my brother as well. And
I never knew that.
Yeah, I
thought you were an only child.
My brother turned 31.
Gotcha.
A couple of days ago. And so when I moved here, he was on to the Army, but like taking care of both of us. And, you know, I never knew anything about her financial situation, probably a little bit till I got into college.
Gotcha.
Because I thought we balling. Like anything I wanted, she supplied it.
Yeah, for sure.
She like I didn't know anything about it. And so just getting into life just a little bit more right now.
Right.
In the scene of all the financial responsibilities and the mental things and the cooking and the preparing and everything that, you know, just parents in general have to deal with, let alone a single mother for 2 young black men out here. Like,
it was hard.
That's crazy.
It was hard.
That is remarkable.
Yeah.
And, you know, she, like my mom, I asked her a little bit, like, what was kind of her focuses as far as like, whenever I get out of the house or whenever I graduated high school, what's like 3 things that you like really wanted to stick with me? And she always said the foundation, you know, in the church with the Lord, different things like that. Like I said, I was angry as a child, especially before I got here. And so that anger, she wanted me to get like that out of my heart.
Yeah.
And to me, just be a good and kind person.
Yeah.
And I would say she pretty much achieved those things.
You got that?
You know, yeah.
That's a good thing.
And then everything else, you know, it's not her responsibility. She can't do everything.
Yeah.
You know, we try to, but we ain't Superman.
This is
true.
And
so I'm still, you know, it's still my life. I still have things I need to learn. And so I'm going to go do that myself. But, you know, my mom, she did amazing.
She did. I don't know your other brother, but I mean, I've seen you, been around you for a little bit.
Yeah.
You're a good kid. I never knew you were a bad kid, but you definitely
a good
kid. Shout out to your mama. Because honestly, raising black men honestly, I'm not going to say it was one of the hardest things to do, but it is hard, especially raising them by yourself, because you know how to be a woman. You don't know how to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have anybody there to help you teach them how to do those things, then you're playing the role of both mom and dad. So sometimes it can be a little bit of a challenge, especially if you have a child that has a lot of anger in their heart, but yet and still, you just kind of, you do what you got to do as a mom and you keep it moving. But like I said, you want your kids to grow up and be well-rounded. You want your kids to grow up and know a lot of things and, be accountable in all the things. And for sure, keep God first. Always, always, always. So that's a really good lesson. So, yeah, definitely shout out to your mom. Shout out to your mom. Would you say your mom is your biggest supporter?
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Like I said, like anything I needed, I wanted, I had.
Gotcha.
I had. Man, it was just throughout college with Frog, as we started traveling, it got a lot more expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, UMHB, there's no athletic scholarships there. So
for sure,
you coming out of pocket, and she took most of the hit for that as well.
Yeah.
So for me to still, just live out, my dream, be able to play college ball and be somewhere where, I feel like I can grow as a person and as a player. And, college, the kind of the mindset with that, it also is an investment as well, though. You are investing within the environment. I wanted to be somewhere where I could develop as a player and as a person as well. And, I have some great friends, some brothers that, I've still talk to this day. And my basketball experience, I'm super grateful for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was good.
That's good. That is good. Good story, Kyle. Definitely love it. Cam, you have anything you want to add?
No, it's amazing, man. See my guy like this, it's amazing.
For sure. I totally understand that. So now you're in the financial world, more in the fashion world.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing TikToks, Instagrams, different things like that with your fashion?
Yeah, so because I am doing, I'm bobbling a lot, juggling a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so I haven't spent as much time teaching the game as far as basketball like I used to when I was in college. Which is unfortunate. It's something I do want to get back to because I love teaching the game.
Yeah.
I love helping. And that's why I'm also doing PGC this summer because it allows me to do that. But yeah, TikTok is that's still my my realm. I've made a couple other accounts for that and then also Instagram as well.
I gotcha. So at the end, we'll get your all of your socials and we'll tag them in and let people watch or come by and subscribe and different things like that. Sounds
Perfect.
Good.
Yeah.
So before we end the show, does anybody have anything else they would like to say? We're in church right now, church session.
Oh man, I would just say, coming from college as an athlete and wanting to pursue that next level, and life isn't always going to go your way,
right.
And sometimes you could get in your own mind, but I would say still chase your dream because this is coming from me. Still chase your dream, but also venture out to do other things that you also plan on doing after basketball, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
So that's what just try to branch out and learn as much as you can from anybody that's that you value their opinion of, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. Are you ahead of me at the positive?
What do you mean?
Oh, no, I didn't. Positive?
No, I thought you just said something to say. No,
okay, I got you. Makes sense. I was like, calm down. So it definitely makes sense. So just basically watching you guys kind of grow from Mittens, which was so long ago, to now, and you pivoting, but not so much pivoting, but definitely pivoting to another aspect of your life, a different realm of something other than basketball with finance and different things like that, which is amazing to see. And Cam still on his journey, but yet and still kind of doing a little bit of a pivot as well, working on that master's degree, just doing different things like that. Very proud of y'all because honestly, a lot of people don't do that. And a lot of people, as far as we are concerned, our Black men, this is something that a lot of us don't accomplish. I'm not saying it is not accomplishable, that we don't, but some of us do not. And very proud of both of you. For sure. So before we end the show, we always do a positive or just speaking life into someone or basically just, just saying something that you would want somebody else to know, whether it be, hey, be good in school, whatever the case may be. It doesn't really matter. But I want you guys to leave today with something that a 24 or 23-year-old could look forward to, or somebody that is younger than you all that knew you in school or watch your huddles and different things like that hears your name about basketball. What would you tell that young male to do, or what one piece of advice would you tell them or give them?
I'd say surround yourself with people that's gonna get you where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's my biggest thing for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Would you tell them anything about coaching as far as like, hey, coaches can be hard, but yet and still, it's for the betterment of your good, or would you say that's not true?
No, yeah, for sure. Like I said, like surround yourself with people that's gonna get you to where you want to go.
Yeah.
But also, like when it comes to coaches and their perspective, take it into account, but not so much as to like take it to heart, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. Hold on, let me back up. One question. Do you guys think that the kids now are a little bit more sensitive than you guys were back in the day, where if a coach did the same thing to them that they did to you, say for instance, Frog would get onto y'all, and I mean, I'm talking about get in your head and on your neck about how you played and what he expected. Do you think those kids can handle that now?
No, not at all. I don't think so.
It's definitely a switch, because even with some of the people that we were growing up with, they couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Because Frog is a lot more old school.
Yeah.
But as far as like to be able to handle that type of coaching, you have to really, really want it.
Yeah.
And I haven't been out there too much as far as training all the athletes around in this area, so I don't know too much of their mindset. But as far as just the newer generation in general, it is a little, you can't coach as harder and be as extreme as you used to be. So
is this from y'all's experience at PGC?
Mine, yeah, 100%.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I've seen younger athletes in general, and I've seen the change of how it's switching a little bit. So
gotcha.
I think that's a fair comment to say.
Okay. Okay, so what is one story that you have from PGC, and then we're gonna go back.
Oh my goodness, I have a few, but
tell me a few.
So when I did PGC my first year, I just did it with the younger age group. So like I'm gonna say 4th through 8th grade, I think it was. Yeah. So it was some kids that were there to just be there. And there were some kids that were there to want to get better. And then like it was just what I found out is like the kids that wanted to be there to get better, they didn't really understand the concept of like me teaching them something. They didn't want to learn, pretty much. And the kids that were there just to be there, I feel like they taught me and I taught them some things about basketball that they didn't even know.
Gotcha.
And it's different because like in PGC with the younger kids, we teach positivity. And of course we were being positive 100% of the time. There's no negativity. But at the same time, like the kids, I don't think they pretty much understand you being positive in only one way. They don't understand you being positive in many other.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. Cal, what about you?
And it's funny because it was his first time with PGC, but that was my first time with the younger athletes.
Yeah.
Because I usually did just high school and up with some of our other courses, and so really having to really just be graceful within your coaching all the time, and knowing that all right, some of these athletes' parents just kind of they paid for them and dropped them off. Like some of them don't really love basketball. They need help with trying to fall in love with the game. Some of them probably don't even want to be college athletes or like athletes for real. So learning how to deal and coach them, meet them where they're at. And then also I have Tyrese over here who's trying to actually trying to get to, and I have both of them trying to hoop, and you gotta mix and match that, and you gotta try to make him get better and feel engaged and deal with his emotions and all the other stuff that you deal with when you're in 4th grade and 5th grade, and then you got to deal with them too. So it's definitely tough. It was tough, but I enjoy it.
Well, that's good. Yeah. That's good. All right, now to the positives. What would your one positive be, Cam?
Just like I said earlier, just surround yourself with people that gonna take you to where you want to go.
Okay, sounds good. Kyle, what about you? What do you want to leave somebody with that's your age or younger?
When it comes to decision making, don't whatever decision you make sure you wouldn't regret it if it didn't go your way.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of different instances and contexts that you could put it in, but I'm gonna just leave y'all with that.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you for being here today. It's good to see you as well.
Oh man, likewise. I was waiting on Cam to ask me. He just never did. I was waiting on it.
You know Cam.
I appreciate y'all.
You know Cam. You know Cam. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you again for just watching the episode. If you like the content, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And into the next one, guys. Peace.